When we found out we were first pregnant, I was really excited. Just feeling the baby move and everything is really good. My first child, everything went perfectly. The pain of delivering, it disappeared right away. Just looking at this face and seeing this personality right away. Now I have this little individual person. It was really scary. And my daughter, you know, I need to make sure she's going to be safe. So I knew that I had to find God because I didn't want my child to struggle like I did. You know, I didn't have anybody else to turn to. Really little, in 1972, my father moved us to Hawaii in the Marines, and so that's where I grew up. You know, you kind of get to know a lot of people in the islands. It's a small island. I joined in the Air Force 2 weeks before my 28th birthday, and I really wanted a good life, and I figured, you know, my father was in the Marines, my brothers both joined the Army and the Marines as well. I know the lifestyle. I was born and raised in it. Taz, come here. Come on inside. Come on. My first duty station was in Florida. So when you come to the state, it's vast. And I didn't know anybody here. I didn't have family or friends, but I knew it was a better life for my child because I was a single mom. So as a single parent, it was really scary. She was growing at this time. She was 4, going on 5. And she kept growing. My focus would be on her. Whatever she would come home and tell me, you know, Mom, my feet hurt, and so I'd buy her new shoes. The next day, her shoe size got bigger. And I'm like, okay, we tried these shoes on. You said it felt good. Now it don't feel good anymore. How did that happen? You know, so she was growing at this time when I became a single parent. It's just lots of changes, lots of trials. So it was great, but scary too at the same time. I can only depend on myself to take care of her. God was the only one that I could talk to. You know, I didn't have anybody else to turn to. My daughter, you know, I need to make sure she's going to be safe. So I knew that I had to find God. I always believed there was a God who created us, and I always believed that I can turn to Him and pray. My father's Southern Baptist, and my mom, she believes in ancestry. For me as a child, as far as I can remember, I've always wanted to be close to God. You know, I still went to church on my own. I got dressed and walked up the street by myself without my family and went to church. While I was a single mom, I went to this church. It was a 4-square church called Hope Chapel. It was fun, but there was always something missing. You know, I'd go home, it was just something that I did. What I desire in a church weren't being met. I wasn't getting fulfilled spiritually, yes. You know, so I don't know where to go to church, and I need to be in church. I need to worship God. Because I came from Pentecostal church, 4-square church, I went to a Catholic church, so I've been to them all. So I made a prayer and I asked God, God, where are you? If I don't find you soon, I would have nothing. Nothing. That is my goal in life. That was always my goal in life, is to find God.
Para maging tunay ang pagsamba, ayon sa katwiran, kailangan nandoon ka sa bayan ng Diyos. Kasi sa bayan ng Diyos, nakipagkasundo ang Diyos. Yung bayan ng Diyos ang kinikilala niyang kanyang mga anak. Yung bayan ng ating Panginoong Diyos, doon ibinigay sa kanila yung mga kautusan. Kung mayroong gustong makapagsagawa ng tunay na pagsamba, hindi basta tatawag lang sa Diyos. Hindi basta maglilingkod lang sa Diyos. Hindi basta magkakasundo lang sila para sila ay gumawa ng pagsamba sa Diyos. Ang kinakailangan, nasa bayan ka ng Diyos. Kasi pagka nasa bayan ka ng Diyos, tunay na mananamba ka sa Panginoong Diyos. At kung tunay na mananamba ka sa Panginoong Diyos, yan ang hinahanap ng Diyos na sasamba sa Kanya. Kaya yung mga tunay na mananamba dapat desidido. Ginagawa nila yung pagsamba sa Diyos. Kailangan totohanan ang kanilang pagsamba. Hindi ano pabaga ang pagsamba nila. Talagang yung kanilang buong pagkatao nakalahok doon sa kanilang ginagawang pagsamba sa ating Panginoong Diyos, sapagkat yan ang hinahanap sa atin na sasamba sa ating Panginoong Diyos.
While I was stationed in Florida, it was, like I said, it was kind of scary. I prayed to God, especially in this time, because my daughter, I need to make sure she's going to be safe. 2 weeks later, my coworker comes up to me and asks me, "Do you want to go to church?" And I said, "Well, what kind of church is it?" And so she said she don't know. I said, "What do you mean you don't know?" She said her roommate invited her. So I said, "You know what? Let's go. I'll go with you." And so maybe a couple of days later, I meet her roommate, and she is also active duty, and she's a nurse. And so we get in her car, we drive off, we're traveling down, and it's about an hour away from my house. And we arrived at Iglesia Cristo, Church of Christ, and I'm here now, so I'm going to go ahead and just look into this church. I sat there in my first evangelical mission. The questions that this minister was giving us were the same questions I would ask myself. They were legitimate questions, and he didn't answer them by himself. He read it out of the Bible. I'm like, I know, like I said, I knew the Bible, I knew the words, and I hate people interpreting the Bible on their own. So I was really impressed that he didn't interpret the Bible on his own. He read scriptures. Here's what God would say. Here's what Jesus said. Here's what Apostle Paul said. And I started crying. In the middle of the gym, I started crying and I was shaking. I'm like, "Oh my God, did I finally find you? Is this really you, God?" And I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop. So I finally found it. And I never stopped. From that day, I never stopped worshiping God. I was like, God found me. He saved me.
Alin pong tinubos ng dugo ng ating Panginoong Kristo? Iglesia ni Cristo. Kaya itong tinutukoy na bayan ng ating Panginoong Diyos, Iglesia ni Cristo sa mga huling araw. Kaya tayo, may karapatan tayong sumamba sa Diyos. May karapatan tayong maglingkod sa Kanya. Sapagkat tayong kinikilala ng Diyos na nasa Kanyang bayan, nasa atin ang tunay na pagsamba sa ating Panginoong Diyos. Huwag tayong aalis sa iglesia. Huwag tayong papayag, maalis tayo sa iglesia. Mahalin natin ang ating pagkaiglesia ni Cristo. Ingatan natin ang ating pagkaiglesia ni Cristo sapagkat napakahalaga nito. Hindi lamang para magawa ang tunay na pagsamba, kundi para tayo maligtas pagdating ng araw ng paghuhukom.
I've only been in the Air Force for 3.5 years, but within that 3.5 years, I met the church, got married in the church. When we found out we were first pregnant, I was really excited because, I found out before, I kind of felt something, wow, what is this? And I could feel some kind of little pee. To me, it was fun. I don't know, fun or just an exciting time, I guess. 4 months into the pregnancy, I guess they have a regular checkup, so they wanted to do an ultrasound. When they did the ultrasound, and my husband was there at the appointment at this time, and they were doing a lot of measurements, and they were taking a really long time, and I turned to my husband, I said, "This is not normal, something's wrong." So I turned to the tech who was doing the ultrasound at the time, And I asked him, what's wrong? Why are you guys taking so long? He goes, oh, we're just doing standard procedures. They're not allowed to reveal what they see because they're not the doctor. They're just a technician. So they're just telling me, trying to keep me calm. But I knew something was wrong. After the ultrasound, and I told my husband, something's wrong with the baby. And sure enough, they said, the possible twin is gone. And the other twin that you're carrying now is not going to survive the pregnancy. It was going to pass away in a few more months. So I carried the pregnancy for 2 more months, and that was difficult. When I did deliver the child that I had to bury, her name was Sierra, when I had to bury her, everything was easy for me. My health, everything was good. So I believe God was with me the whole time. And He gave me the courage and the strength to move on. It was hard though, it was really, really hard. For the couple of times that I had my pregnancies terminate on their own, never thought in my wildest dreams to stop worshiping God. That never entered my mind, because when I found this church, this is what I was looking for. I was looking for God, and I know for a fact that this is where God is. This is the true church. This is the true worship. And I would never forsake this. This is all I have. If I lost this, I have nothing.
Meron mang gumagawa ng pagsamba, kahit na sabihin pa natin ginagaya ang ating pagsamba, pero yung aral na itinuturo, iba na. Sa aral na itinuro sa atin ng sugo, hindi natin dapat na pansinin yun. Hindi tayo dapat sumama roon. Kasi maling pagsamba yun. Hindi tunay na pagsamba yun. Labag sa aral ng ating Panginoong Diyos. Mali ang kanilang intensyon. Hindi ang intensyon sundin ang kalooban ng Diyos, kundi yung sarili nilang kagustuhan, kapritsyo. Kailangan kung saan tayo dapat talaga pumwesto, doon tayo. Hindi doon sa alanganin. Ito ang doktrina, yun ang ating sampalatayanan, doon tayo manalig, doon tayo manghawak. Merong nagtuturo sa atin na tayo ay pinapag-aalinlangan, doon pa rin tayo manghawak sa sa katotohanan na ating natutuhan na itinuro sa atin mula sa Biblia. Pagka ganyan, hindi ka magkakamali. Pagka ganyan, hindi ka madadaya. Maitataguyod mo ang tunay na paglilingkod mo anuman ang nangyayari sa ating paligid.
This church was the only one prophesied by God that it's going to be saved. There is no other church, and the church's name is Church of Christ. No other name. It's written in the Bible. Whatever comes from the Bible, that's what we should believe in, not what those people who are telling you these negative things. Find your way back. Where are you now? Are you going to church? What are your convictions? Because in this church, it's written in the Bible, do not forsake the gathering of the saints. And also, this church teaches what comes out of the Bible, and they do not change, not one dot.
Mga kapatid, mag-ingat tayo. Huwag nating sayangin ang ating kahalalan. Nakilala na natin ang tunay na iglesia. Ang kinakailangan ni makapanindigan tayo sa pagsunod sa mga aral at utos ng Diyos. Dapat pagka tayo ay sumasamba sa ating Panginoong Diyos, hindi mababa ang uri ng ating ginagawang pagsamba. Kailangan mataas ang uri ng ating pagsamba. Ang pagsamba kasi sa Diyos, kinakailangan priority. Di po ba? Yan ang tunay na pagsamba. Yan ang hinahanap ng Diyos, ng uri ng pagsamba sa Kanya. Siya ang pangunahin sa ating buhay. Kaya wag nating bitawan ang ating ginagawang pagsamba sa Diyos. Sundin natin ang lahat ng mga palatuntunan sa ating pagsamba. Gawin nating totohanan ang ating pagsamba para nang sa ganon makinabang tayo sa Kanyang mga pagpapala.
I've already went through losing 2 children. I didn't tell you about the other child. I lost another child. And that baby was perfect. The baby was, there's nothing wrong with her. But I had to also deliver her, and she also passed. But I went through a lot of trials in my life, but still, we go through trials. These are just to test our faith. And God is there the whole way through. So no, I would never give up my faith no matter what. I've found gold. This is my treasure. It really truly is. I don't see material wealth. I don't see money. My number one wealth is my salvation. That's my goal. I didn't work this hard. I didn't come 20 years into this church for me to give it away. And knowing what's happening now, Satan, he's conniving. He can deceive us all. He can deceive us without us even knowing. This is the most crucial time, people. We know this is the end times. It's written. We see all the signs. Everything that God had written, it's coming true. How could you deny that? This is not the time to turn away. We might get weak, but never, never stop asking God to forgive you and keep walking the path. I keep telling my children, when things get hard, just put one foot in front of the other. Just keep walking, but never give up.
Kung daraan tayo sa pagsubok, kung magkakaroon ng mga kalungkutan sa ating buhay, ang sabi ng Biblia, nakahanda ang ating Panginoong Diyos na siya ay magkaloob ng kanyang pagliligtas na ating kailangan. Yan sana ang maranasan natin sa ating buhay. Tayo na mga Iglesia ni Cristo, pagka tayo nanalig sa Kanya, pagka tayo nang hawak sa Kanya, pagka tayo hindi bumitiw sa ating Panginoong Diyos, makatitiyak tayo, makararating doon sa bayang banal para tamuhin yung pangakong kaligtasan sa araw ng paghuhukom.